which is the colour picking application I built, and last time I did one of these streams I made a flat pack of it, and now my plan is to work out how one submits this kind of thing to Flathub and then do so. But first of all, I need to tell people that I'm doing this stream, so what I need to do is find out what the URL of this stream is and then post it on Twitter, which is what I'm going to do now. There we are. Haha, live now it says, you see, how good is that? So get shareable link. The link has been copied to the clipboard, so I should now be able to post that there. I can now put that on Twitter. Oh no, I can't because I've got to shorten it a bit. So, this time, how can I shorten this? This time I plan to take the flat pack I made of pick and submit it to Flathub. If I can work out how. So if you know this stuff, yeah, there we go, look. Or does fancy watching me struggle, then do come join in. So now I say, tweet, and hopefully that will come up, and then I should also be able to post that to Mastodon, which is longer. Bosh, there we go. No one is in the chat, but let's see if anyone shows up in the chat, and if they do, we'll see if it's working. So the other thing I want to do is it's got to be like an internet stopwatch. Because what I want to do is I want to kick off something. Do some. Oh my god. Manage options. Turn everything off. Wow, you people are the worst. Surely there's a better one. I should have just done something else. Confirm choices, whatever. Just show me a stopwatch. Right, start. Okay, and the idea here is that with this running, I should now be able to look at this stream on my phone, and I can see whether it's super duper jerky. Hopefully it isn't, but what I should be able to do is, if I pull up the tweet that I just sent, then I should be able to check this stream. So there is, so that's on youtube.com. Adding my pick flat pack. Oh, is it doing it? Or I haven't got the wrong scene in place, have I? If I just say play. It isn't, but what I should be able to do is... Oh, that looks like it's working. Brilliant. And it's like 30 seconds behind, but that's okay. Oh, and Alex has said yo in the chat. Hello, Alex. So people are saying, do please tell me if this is working terribly slowly, or isn't working, or is very jerky, or the sound is wrong, or something like that. Because it's very hard for me to tell, because I don't really know what I'm doing with all of this streaming lark. But anyway, so the goal here, when we left off last time, I'd managed to make a flat pack of my application pick, and I was vaguely starting to look at how you add it to Flathub, but I hadn't really worked that out. So now I want to work it out. I think the big thing that I need to do is, Flathub seems to expect that you'll have some discipline around things like version numbers, which I currently don't. The way pick works is if I make a change, I just commit that change to master and then cut a release of the snap, which Snapcraft does for me automatically, and that's it. I don't have a version number really. Oh, Alex said I joined chat just as you said no one is in chat. I don't know how you even tell whether someone's in chat or anything. This is very confusing to me, this stuff. So anyway, so the intention here is that I'm probably going to have to get some discipline about version numbers, I think. So I think I've actually got a version number in here at the top. Yeah, look, 1.51, which is utterly arbitrary. So probably what I want is some kind of policy where when I change something, I bump this. And what happens is that I will keep forgetting to do that. So what I probably need to do is, what do we think, a git commit hook? So that when I do this, it checks what the last version number was and then moans if I haven't changed it. So literally every time I commit anything, it makes me bump the version number. And I'm happy with that. Some people would probably say that what they will do is they make a bunch of changes and they'll release a 1.52 when they've bundled up a bunch of changes that make sense. I don't care about that. I am more than happy if every version, or if every git commit involves a new version number. And what that means is I don't actually release new versions of the Flatpak, but it means that you'll jump from 1.51 to 1.68 because I put 18 commits in while I was trying to get it right. Alex suggests I make the version be the date, and this is kind of the thing that I'm leading to, that what I might do is I might make this, I might make the version something like 1.6 point date time or 1.6 point git commit hash, maybe. See, Bazaar used to have a thing called Revno, which was a monotonically increasing revision number, and that was dead useful, but I don't think Git has that. So I probably can't nick it, can I? Is there? I don't think there is one. Or the commit count, I suppose. I mean, okay, this sort of, the reason they don't have this kind of version number thing is quite a sensible reason, which is that it's branched, right? This is distributed version control, so there isn't one stream of commits. There aren't branches, because if you went off on a branch, then its revision numbers would be different, or they would collide with the ones in main. But I'm not going to do that for pick. I'm just going to have master, and that's it. So maybe the answer is revisions only come out of the master branch, and they are, the version number is 1.6 point the number of commits. Let's say the length of the git log. Would that work? So if I did that, how would I do that? Part of the issue is what I want to do is I want to change this when I do a git commit. But if I do that in a hook, that's a change which isn't included in the commit. Does that even work? What happens if you... If you change a file in a git commit hook, does that change get included in the commit? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I see. Yeah, so this is doing rev list full history all. Color picker. Right. Yeah. So here, what does this actually list? This is. Oh, I see. Yeah. And then just does WC-L to count. Well, that makes sense. Okay. So that is the number of commits that have been 172. So the question is, if you add a commit hook, and that commit hook changes one of the files, does that change file get included? And we don't know the answer to that question. I don't. So let's read about it. It's a pre-commit hook is what I want, rather than a post-commit hook. Yes. Take the commit. So what we want here is git pre-commit hook change files. Execute a bash script. Git hook executable, change to add files, blah 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 blah. Getting a list of change files. Yeah, what I want to do is I don't want to check the list of change files. I want to actually change a file. I feel like you're gonna dislike it if I do this. Okay, so in that case, what we're going to do is we're going to try this as an experiment. So, get in it. The file, actually write a git commit hook. I can never remember how to do this. For a list of hooks you can attach script to, and I put a script in .gis. Right, so this is an example. Verify what about to be committed. Should exit with non-zero status after issuing an appropriate message if it wants to stop the commit. And then I'll just call the file pre-commit and then presumably make it executable, do I? Is that the plan here? So, .git hooks pre-commit, and then we'll make this do I want it to be... See, I don't really want it to be a bash script. I'm going to make it a Python file because I'm not Martin. In Python 3. And then how do I find out what changed? It's an environment variable, I think, is it? Or do I have to run something? An example hook script. Initial commit begins an empty tree object. So this is doing git rev pass verify. No, don't want to do that. Print the offending file names and fail. No, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. There's someone else would have already decided this. Git pre-commit hook get list of changed files. Rather than working this out, someone will already know. Getting list of changed files. See, well done, Stack Overflow. I knew someone would have done this. Fine, accept all cookies. Shouldn't really do that, but this is not my standard browser, so I don't mind as much. Currently valid, much more optimal. Might get pre-commit hook in Python. What's in the work tree is not necessarily the same as what is to be committed. Git diff index cached head. Okay, so import sub process. I don't mean if name equals main. No. Process dot run diff index cached head and actually no, we want, and then we'll go how do we wait for it? Always have to look this up as well. Python 3 sub-process. Oh, lots of people in the chat. Hello, people. Hello, Mamasibus. Hello, Zuck. A commit hook change file normally aborts the commit. If the change is idempotent, it should be just commit again. I've seen many attempts at actually modifying what was from within the commit. Right. So what people are saying is, this idea of yours, language, is misery and you should not do it. Which is not a wholly unreasonable point of view to take, I have to say. So, we're going to give it a try anyway, just for lols. Because I want to see what happens. But so when I run, I get a oh, so it does wait. I thought it ran it in the background by default. Right, so we're going to go print. I think it's just, is it just standard out, or do I have to do standard out equals pipe to capture output? Yeah. Right, okay. Capture output is two. Standard out and standard out will be captured, and then they arrive in. I'm pretty sure it's the output dot standard out. Yeah, there it is. Right, so let's do that. That should just make it executable, and then we go. I see other hooks. No, the hook itself is not included. So git add the file. Git commit dash a. Don't need dash a really. Dash m. It's just habit these days. I just put dash a in all the time. First commit to see what happens. Okay, so I didn't get any output there. That's interesting. So let's make another change to it. just do like that. So let's try committing again. Right, so we get that output from it. So let's git diff index dash dash cached head. Oh, so presumably the first one didn't work because there was nothing in there to check it against. There is no diff, it's new. Okay, so that's a bit of a faff. But, oh, more comments from people. 2 commits is not the end of the world. Martin Smith says, oh, hello, Eric. Oh, I can see now there's a little avatar thing. Yeah. Wow, Eric Cashline. Nice. Good to see you, man. Welcome to the show that never ends. If you want your hooks under Git control, I cannot make it. Oh, sure. I mean, I might do this, but I probably wouldn't actually put this in the repository because it's a weird, stupid Stuart hack. Right. So this does output the changed file. So git diff index. So what do you actually do? If I make a change again, and then I just run that, so that's git diff index dash dash cached head. Ah, so that doesn't show up because we haven't started to commit it yet, presumably. So if I add it, is that what it's tracking? Yes, it is. Okay, so we don't care about any of that. We only care about the fact that the file has changed. What does M mean? So M is modified, is it? Compares the content and mode of the blobs found in tree object with the corresponding track files in the working tree or the corresponding paths in the index. Okay, and dash dash cache does what? By default, existing empty file in git diff and a new file do not consider the on disk file at all. Okay, right. This is where I run into problems with not properly understanding Git because it's complicated. But whatever. So this lists the files. So the question is, if I change this file, in proc.standardout.split n parts equals line dot. I should be able to use line dot split because it just splits on white space, and that's a tab according to this. So that should give me. Oh, actually, if I do encoding equals UTF-8, which is what it is, then I'll get text back. So that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If the length of parts is not equal to 6, unexpected line parts, just paranoia check, else. God, I can't type at all. So unexpected line parts that. Otherwise, print. So we'll just do this for lols, just so I can see what it's doing. And this should be file name, parts 5. Okay. Oh, dash dash name only. Oh, probably. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Very good. Oh, Matthew has arrived. Hello, Mr. Somerville. So to summarise, what I'm attempting to do is I would like to get pick into Flathub. Now, Flathub cares about version numbers. When you submit a new version, it has to have a new incremented version number. The app stream data all does a bit. My problem is I don't care about versions very much. So every version of pick that's been released for like the last 4 years has been version 1.51, and I haven't bumped the version number at all. So I need to care. But I'm just not disciplined enough to remember to go in and change it all the time. I hate it. It's just annoying busy work. So what I want to do is I want the version number to basically automatically increment every time I do anything. So the current experiment is, can I, in a git pre-commit hook, bump the version number? I think this might not work. Eric also thinks this is not going to work because fiddling with the files you're committing in a pre-commit hook is likely to blow up. This experiment is to prove that to myself, and if it is, then I'll think of another way of doing it. So Eric did suggest name only. Oh, yeah, okay, that's a lot easier. Shut up, Eric. Right, okay. Right, we'll do that. Name only. So I don't have to do all the split rubbish. Good call. Oh, actually, no, that's really badly formatted. That's really annoying. We'll do that instead, I think. Okay, so now I don't need to split. I can just go print. Just line, that should work. A changed file name is, and then, so next we'll try doing that. The other thing is, why hasn't this picked up the highlighting? If I edit it again. Yeah, good. Now, Sublime knows. What? Oh, okay. Yeah, good catch. Well done. This is why you have syntax highlighting. Zuck says, I'll pick this up later. Useful stuff. Good luck. Thank you very much. Well, we'll see how I get on anyway. I mean, you know, you might find I'm done in 10 minutes, or you might find I'm still here 12 hours from now having no idea. A whole bunch of people are going to say, Stuart, you're doing a whole bunch of complicated busy work here to avoid just caring about version numbers. And you are correct, but, you know, what can I tell you? Nobody's good at everything. So, let us try... add something else to the file again, and then we commit it. Right, so we've got a blank one, so we need to skip blank ones. If not line, continue, which is easier than filtering the list. And then we will go, what will I do to it? Actually, I'm going to write that file name, just because it's tidier. With open, file name, up for append, as fp dot added by git commit hook at. Bonus points for anyone who can. What does datetime.now look like? Datetime now. That looks good. Can we f-string that in? I think we can, can't we? Datetime. God, I can't type at all today. Datetime.now. Okay, that will work. Over the length limit. No. Well, that's annoying to format, isn't it? So let's just do that then. Okay. What's... Oh, fine. But now it's really untidy. Okay. Annoying formatter. So, anyway. So, let's give that a try. So that will open that file and write to it, and write that on the bottom of it. Actually, I'm going to stick. I don't know if I need the new lines around this, but it's better to have too many than not enough. So we're going to try changing a file that's going to be committed to by adding something to it. I suspect GitHub Action, if this is on GitHub, might be easy, but you need much of the same logic there anyway. Now, it might be. A GitHub Action, Eric suggests, but that's to do the Flathub publishing. And I'm not sure about that, partially because I don't know what happens with the snap then, because that's built every time there's a push by build.snapcraft.io. So I don't really want to fiddle with that. That works. I'd be replicating that in a GitHub Action, certainly. But then I think what's going to happen is that will make a change, and then the snap will build again. So you'll get 2 snap releases, which just seems annoying and inelegant. So we shall see. So let's see what this does. So the file currently looks like that. So now we commit it. Okay. So the question is, ha! Right, yeah. So because that was added afterwards, of course, that's just like literally me echoing this on the end of the file before I type git commit, isn't it? Thick boy, Stuart. So that's not going to work. So what it's going to have to do is add that file to the commit again in a commit hook, which is obviously doom. So that's not going to work. So in that case, I don't want a commit hook which does this for me. I want a git hook which mithers at me until I do it. So it needs to say something along the lines of, the last time you did a commit, you didn't bump the version number. What this means is that literally every time I change everything, I'm going to have to increment the version number as well. This feels like busy work, right? This feels like something a computer ought to be able to solve for me. Well, gosh darn it. Don't know how to solve this. I mean, sure, I can do it myself by hand, no problem. I can, quite happily, the point is not quite happily, but I can just put this in here and I can have a git pre-commit hook which looks at what it was, and then anytime there's any commit, it says, you haven't changed the version number, go and change the version number and commit that as well, which would be just really annoying, and I'll just throw my computer out the window. Is there a push hook? Maybe that would work. Somewhere in this list is git hooks. Receive, merge, commit, commit message. Pre-push. So this hook is called by and can be used to prevent a push from taking place. The hook is called with two parameters to provide the name and location of the destination remote. If the name remote is not being both values to be the same. The information about what to be pushed is provided on the hook standard input. So the question is, pre-apply patch hook. Matthew says, what's that even do? What is apply patch? Verify what is about to be good by apply patch. Oh, from an email message. But this is if I use patch, right, which I don't. Because I don't ever use apply patch. So I don't think that would help with it. Alex says if you work in topic branches, then you could have the commit hook only complain on commit to master. I agree with you, and if this was a real program that got lots of work and I cared a lot, then sure, I'd do topic branches, but I don't. Pick basically works. I go in and fiddle with it occasionally because some new thing comes up. But if I do here, so ignore the flatpak fiddling. This is all the stuff that I did last time for flatpacky stuff. So the last thing I changed was fixing a bug when a new version of GTK came along, and then there was a PR that Perpy did, which Perpy. My friend Perpy, yes. No, Popey sent in, which was a snapcraft.yaml fix and another snapcraft.yaml fix, and these are both for CVEs. So the last thing I actually did was 2 years ago, almost exactly, actually, interestingly, for CSS RGB colours. So it doesn't actually get fiddled with very much. So you might be thinking, well, why are you going through all this stupid rigmarole about this? And part of the goal here is that I also plan to do this for a kind of other programs I've written, so UTM, No, and Magnus. Having them be flatpaks as well would be nice. Again, they don't get a lot of fiddling, but I'd like as much of this to be automatic as I can. Precisely so I don't have to do a lot of thinking about it. So, I'd like to have it be automatic if I can do it. So, if I made it so if I push, it complains if the version number hasn't been bumped, then that would be okay, I think. The question then is, Huh. Yeah, so the question then is, if I have it complain on a push, what I need to do is I need to know what that line looks like in the pushed version, so I can compare them. Why not a bash script that bumps the version and commits to Git? Says Matt Edge. That's a bloody good idea. Huh. Okay, so in theory, the issue with the bash script which bumps the version and commits to Git is that I'll forget to use it. So I'll just go there and just git commit. But what I can then do is I can have I can have the bash script set an environment variable which is haha I am the script, and then just does git commit, and the version the git commit hook, which checks for the environment variable and bails if you didn't do it. So if you just try and do a git commit, it won't work because you didn't set the envar. Matthew suggests pre-commit touches a file, post-commit sees file exists, RMs it, makes the edit, and git commit amend. Oh man, oh that's so complicated. I mean, okay, yeah, that would work. Yes, so a magic thing looks afterwards and actually rewrites history. That's clever. But I think Mate, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Mate? Let me know. The script which does it, that's really clever. I like that idea. Because then, yeah. That's a clever idea. I like that. So, what we want is, if I were to do that, then I'd do so I do in bash, and this would just do git commit, and then all the variables, all of them. Is that how you do that? Bash script all command line. Oh, yeah, right, arguments rather parameters if you like. I can never remember how to do like any of them. Oh my god. No. How do I... Oh my god, right, no, this website is just the most annoying. It loses immediately. How to pass all... Right. Yeah, it's $at, but it's in quotes. Okay. So here we want I am the script equals yes. And then in our pre-commit hook, we go if I am the script is not equal to yes, then echo use the script to commit, not git commit. And then we want exit 1 fee. Now what's wrong with that? Oh, yeah, alright, fine. Because it's not Python script, it's bash script. Yes, fair, that is fair. Right, so if we close that and then we reopen it again. That's a bit rubbish of Sublime Text, actually. I need to fix that. Matt Edge says Matt Edge is okay, so hopefully that pronunciation is okay, but thank you. So, use script to commit, not commit. Matthew says, I think what you have will be okay if you only edit the file in git add in the pre-commit. Oh, okay. You think? Well, because that was a nicer idea. Oh, I've lost it now. I have to rewrite it. Well, so let me give this a try first of all. The commit script thing. And then we'll go do that, and then we go git commit dash a dash n. This shouldn't work. Oops. Hooray. Oh. So I'll have to remember to put the / in front of it. I should be able to do git commit. This should work, actually. Okay. Now that is interesting. Okay. So then we have this script just does that, and here it would bump the version number, and then this also needs to do the git add. Right, add main.py to _main.py. Oh, this should just be git add main.py, so our version number change is included. Now go ahead and run the commit as intended. Okay. This is just git add. Oh yeah. So in here it would be in this folder, and so the actual stuff is in there. So what I want is dir name $0 like that. So that will give me the path of this script, and then main is $d/pig/main.py. Okay, so we want to create that in our temporary version just since we're experimenting. Pick main.py, and then we'll just yank the first half dozen lines out of there for a laugh, just so we've got them. Okay. So that just works. So we need to bump the version number. So what we want to do there, see, this should be Python again, really. So we want to find the line which begins __ version. We want to split it on, and this is going to be a million times easier in Python, isn't it? So, oh no, maybe not actually. Eric says git adding works, but it breaks workflows where you use commit-p. If you never do that, you'll usually be okay. Git adding from within a commit hook, that is. Since I have no idea what -p does, I'm assuming I don't use it. Git help commit. Oh. Interactive patch selection interface changes to commit. Oh no, I've never used that. Matthew says, then you wouldn't need path stuff because aliases always run from the top level of the repo. Do they? Okay, that's nice. I didn't know that. When you say alias, I feel like there may have been a sentence before that, Matthew, where you said something like, do this thing, and then you said, then you wouldn't need path stuff. But I didn't see the first sentence. Anyway, so what I want is sed s version equals a quote, and then anything, and then a quote, and then oh no, because we've got to add a number to this. See, that's going to be annoying in Bash as well. So I should maybe just do this in Python. Let's make it just 1.6 for now. And input is pick main. Okay, so that works. So what you've got to do is you've got to get that number, which you've got to get that number, then increment it, which you can't very easily do in sed. If you git cola to commit a subset of modified lines, then it's possible git commit -p is happening under the hood. Okay, I don't think I'd ever do that. Matthew's saying, oh, I was saying you could alias your git commit script to commit once it's finished. Oh yeah, yes I could do that, yes. That would actually be quite clever. I feel like having it really obviously there might be useful because I'll see it. But yeah, no, understood. So yeah, so I can set it, but I don't know what to set it to without reading what it already is. I think, unless I just basically declare all versions are now 1.6 point the number of commits in the git commit history, which would be sweet. So what was it that? Yeah, it was. So that is the number of entries in the current git commit history. So if I go, if I want something like git commit count equals that, and then we bump the version number, so we just set it into B. Oh, this is going to be interesting. How do I do the substitution? Because I mean, man, okay, this is going to be annoying. This is going to have to look something like that, isn't it? Does that even work? Because I haven't got the spaces. That's right. Well, I'll tell you what, I can just sed that without writing it back to the file, can't I? Especially since I'd have to echo it into a temporary file and then move the temporary file over the top of it, because sed won't fix a file in place unless I use sponge, which I don't think I've even got. Oh, I have. Is sponge there by default these days? It's in more utils. Well done, Colin. So Colin Watson wrote sponge. What it does is, as it says there, it reads standard input and writes it out to the specified file. The point being that you can use it to fix a file in place, which is dead handy. But I probably shouldn't depend on it because I'm not sure it's there by default. Not that it matters because it's on my machine, but this is the sort of thing where I check this stuff out to do a fix on my laptop and then it doesn't work because I haven't got it installed. So, sed-I will modify files in place. Will it, by the Lord Harry? Really? Okay, didn't know about that. Eric says, after Ram will watch the solution later. Thank you, pal. You've been very helpful. Cheers. I'll carry on with that. Okay, sed edits files in place. Right, okay, so I'm going to do this, which will just echo it out so I can see that it's worked. And we're not going to add it for now, but then it will just run the commit. Okay, because we're still in the experiments folder. So I will echo a line onto the end of things so I have something to commit. Bosh. And then we will do another commit. So we'll make this say checking that the git commit version thing works. that didn't work. It's not that bad to increment the version number in Bash. He says, and then rolls out a thing with IFS. Yeah, this is this is why I'm not doing it. Yes, it's doable. I can do the adding, you know, just double brackets thing, but that's not really the thing. So why isn't that working then? That ought to work, I would have thought. Why doesn't that work? This is a stupid quoting thing. YT lots of space before read. Yep, okay, yeah. No, yes. So, man, I hate fiddling with IFS. Anytime I need to do anything like this is something I complain at Martin Wimpress for. It's like, do it in Python. But then, doing that in Python is going to be annoying, isn't it? Oh, no, actually, probably not. No, it isn't. So, let's do git commit .sh, and then we're going to copy that just so we've got a copy of it, and then we're going to make this a Python script. User bin env Python 3, and then we're going to go import sys and subprocess. Actually, no, I'm not going to subprocess. I'm just going to os.system, because I'm just that cool. It says, oh, no spaces around equals. Oh, really? Is it that simple? Am I that stupid? Okay, let me try that first before I change things. I'm glad you said that, Matthew. Thank you. So let's try this again. Right, okay, yeah, so that works now. Okay, good. Thank you, I'm very stupid. So that's really handy. So now I should be able to just do set -i, except now I can't redirect it, I need to actually specify the file. And this should be, obviously, be $d slash. Oh, this is just $main, which I already have. And then we git add $main, and then it runs the commit. Okay. So now, if we echo that onto the file, and then we're going to say, and now the version in main should be 1.6.7. Okay, that works. Alex's line 11. Oh, yeah, it leaves the redirect in. Yes, so I need to specify the name, which I have done. So that works. Okay, that's excellent. I like that. That's really good. Okay, I have to say I'm quite pleased with that as a solution, peeps. This is good news. So what that will do then is this will bump the version number every time I do a commit. And that's great, and I'll just change the version number from whatever it is now. So we're going to make it, we're officially declaring 1.6 to be the land of Flathub. We should just, and that'll just put new numbers in. And every time I do a commit, it will increment the number. So I don't have to change anything. And if I just do, yes, that still works. So that's brilliant. So now we can do that for real in the real one. Excellent. So, should we just copy Bosh? So we will nick that and put it over here, and we also want the commit script, which is in hooks and is called pre-commit, and we'll just stash that there for now. Great, right. So Right, okay, so we can get rid of those, and then in here, so we can stop our experiments thing, and then in here we will mv pre-commit to .git/hooks. Go like Firefox, Chrome, and just jump to one version number. I could do. It's going to look a bit weird when people go, it appears to have upgraded from 1.51 to 177. Please, no, Stuart calls an integer overflowing Flathub, yeah. I mean, I could make it 2 or something, but despite the fact that I don't like version numbers much and I don't care about them and I don't care about semantic things and everything, this is not actually a major change. So it feels weird to do version numbers. If I go to one single version number, then I think that people who think that I care about semantic versioning will implicitly assume that a new release where I change one character is a major release and things will change. Now, I don't think anyone who's using Pick or UTM-No or Magnus is paying that much attention to it, to be honest with you. And as you've seen, I'm not honestly that bothered about this sort of thing anyway, but I feel like I should pay at least lip service to the idea of major and minor and patch versions. So I think I'll go with the 1.6 for now, but your point is taken. And that way I don't have version 181 at any point, which would be strange. It could just be U plus R, but it feels weird to do that. Hooks pre-commit. Okay, and so I can get rid of that, and I can get rid of that, and I can go subl git commit, and that is, yeah, it's just right, isn't it? So, what we have left over here is a bunch of stuff that I fiddled with last time. Yes, this was, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a trivial change like that. And then go git status. And then we say git diff. So, right, all that's done is remove that line. So I'm going to go git add main. And then I'm going to go git commit -m trivial change to main file just to confirm the new version numbering trick works. This should complain, which it did. So now I make that. Okay. Hey! That's great. Okay, right, so we've now solved the version numbering problem. Brilliant. Thank you, everyone, for suggestions and help there. That's all very clever. I like that a lot. Well, did I miss any, like, suggestions from all of you? Yes, hopefully I'm not going to cause an integer overflow. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Alex. And thank you, Matt Edge, as well, for the actual suggestion that I went with. Alex uses, I use it a lot with AG. Pattern-L, Exarch said. What's AG? Oh, is that the Silver Search thing? I use AC. But I feel like I probably should be using AG instead because it's newer. I just never have. I'm an AC person, just built into my head. So that's what I use. But maybe, do I have AG? No, Silver Searcher AG, so it's there. I'm interested to hear why AG would be better than AC. Do shout. The AC grep, I think it's actually called. Okay, so, well, we can get shot of all of those things. I'm quite pleased with that. Actually, have I got a readme for this? Yes. So, I'm going to make... See, this is something that I did from long before, which attempts to do the same thing. But this is when I was doing Snapcraft builds, which I no longer have to do. That's not in thing, though, right? So what I need to do now then is I need to work out what needs to happen. So all this stuff here is what I was reading last time about AppStream, which is what Flathub uses to provide metadata about a program. And this is a whole bunch of stuff about how it's super whiny and picky about version numbers, and you have to give a damn about this sort of thing. So, good. We have now done this. I now have a version number. Leave me alone. So, I wonder if I have to fix it anywhere else. I bet I do. I bet I've got to put the version numbers in one of the stupid XML files or something as well. Well, we can just enlarge on this excellent little trick here to do that, I think, so that's good. Right, so, app requirements. Applications located on, hosted on Flathub, safe to use and integrate well on the desktop experience, okay. This matrix is the most annoying thing, honestly. And I went there, I thought, okay, I'll sign into this matrix thing and ask a couple of questions. And it turns out you have to pick a server or something and then sign into that server, but you've got to sign up. You can't just log in, you know, or just pick a name like IRC. You've got to actually create an account on something that I'm never going to use, just in order that I can ask someone a question. It's like, it isn't any better. Why is this an improvement over IRC? Answer, it isn't. I don't even like IRC. Right, anyway, sorry. Talk amongst yourselves. Matthew Somerville says, wasn't the old 1.51, so you might want to change the base. Oh, the point being that 1.6 is less than 1.51. Yeah, it is. Good call. So that should be 1.60 point. Yes, you are correct. So we're going to fix that by doing another trivial edit in here. Oh, actually, that's supposed to be 2 lines because of the formatting. Yeah, okay, so do another family version numbering trick works. Yay! Right, there you go. Yes, good catch. Good catch, Matt Pal. Thank you. Right, so back to here. The license must allow legal redistribution. So I've got somewhere here, I already have it open, I believe. Can I make this show files I've got open rather than folders? Sure I can, but I don't know how. Show open files, there we are. Excellent, that's really useful. Right, so this is the thing which tells it how to build Flatpaks. This is the app data file. Your trivial edit could be changing the version number. Just amend the yes, this is so amending the previous commits and things like that is one of those things where I really should care more about things like what the commit history looks like, and I should do things like squash a bunch of experimental commits into one so I have a beautiful clean history that just shows a correct journey with all correct changes. It just, man, life's too short. I know it's a good idea, I've just never done it. I probably should care more about this sort of thing, but I just don't at the moment, unfortunately. So, this is pick and its app data file. And we did a lot of this last time, so all this content rating stuff we filled in from before. So, license must be correctly specified in the app's app data file. Yeah, project license MIT, there we are, look good. Each application should have a unique application ID. I have done this. Now, this is a faff, right? Because pick's app ID, which is defined here, was for a long time org.cryogenics.pick-color-picker. And that's wrong, because you are not allowed dashes in there, right? So, oops. Took me a while to work out why it wasn't working, and we did eventually. The adventure of that is in the last stream if you want to have a look. But now that we've worked out, I've changed it to this, which is what it should have been all along. Right? The reason I didn't do it is because the snap is called pick-color-picker because I wasn't allowed to call the snap pick because there already was a thing called pick. I can't remember whether it was snap or whether it was a Debian package. But it was one or the other. Anyway, so I kept that the same as the Snap name, just for tidiness, basically. And now I changed it to this. I then pushed the change up to the Snap and published it without checking that it worked, which was a bit iffy, because when I published the Snap, it broke, unfortunately. And the reason it broke is because in snapcraft.yaml you have to say, these are the dbus things that I have access to here, and this said org.cryogenics.pick-color-picker, right? So I can see my own dbus interface. Unfortunately, when I changed it, it broke, because when you started up pick and it tried to access its own dbus name, it was trying to access org.cryogenics.pick, but Snapcraft app armor stuff didn't give it access to that, because I still had pick color picker in here. So it broke. When it tried to start up, a GTK application tried to bind to its own dbus name, got blocked by app armor, blew up. So I've changed it to this and submitted it yesterday, at which point my Snap went into manual review. So now I feel like I'm trying to publish something on flipping iOS. But, you know, I don't know when the manual review gets done. I'm trying not to mention it. I appreciate I'm mentioning it now on the stream, and maybe someone will notice, but I'm trying to not use the fact that I still know a few people who are on the team that I could go and nudge them and they'll know who I am and they'll go, yeah, no problem. I want to see how long it takes. This is like an interesting little experiment about Snaps. I want to know, you know, do people care? The CTO is out there caring, so it'd be interesting to see how fast it is for an app to get manually reviewed. Now, obviously, if you are Apple, this takes anywhere in between 4 hours and 4 weeks, depending on how unlucky you are. And obviously, Apple have a zillion applications to review, which is why it can sometimes take a long time. And they also have a zillion people doing it. The Snap team have like 5 applications, but they also have like no people doing it. So they might balance out. It will be interesting to see how long it takes that manual review to take place. I can't imagine there's going to be a problem, but I'm trying not to nudge it. So technically speaking about it here is probably weird if I don't even know who's on that bit of the team anymore. I was going to say Jamie, but I believe he's left. So whoever's doing that sort of thing, maybe they'll pick up the review, or maybe they won't, and it will be a useful little case study in how maybe people aren't caring about Snaps as much as they should do. But this sort of question is part of why I'm looking to build a Flatpak. Anyway, so, complete diversion. Apologies. Back to here. So, the application ID is correct. Is the short thing there. And it is org.cryogenics.pick. Hooray. Repository layout. The manifest must be at the top level and named after the application ID, with the extension .json.yaml or .yaml, and what? So that's got to be called org.cryogenics.pick.apt. Now this is org. What's this? So this is the that's interesting. The manifest must be at the top level, named after the application ID. So this is the thing which creates the Flatpak. This is the instructions to Flatpak builder, and that's called org.cryogenics.pick.yaml. So I think this needs to be called org.cryogenics.pick.updates.yaml, but I think this fixes that up. Didn't we do that? Didn't I change this so it does? Yeah, check it out, you see. It does it, except it puts it in app share meta info. It doesn't put it. Yeah, so it renames the desktop file, and it renames and it changes the reference to the desktop file in the app data manifest. Matthew says, "Got a dash. Good luck." Thank you, pal. That was really helpful. Suggestion you gave. That's brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming on this small little journey with me. So, the manifest must be at the top level and named after the application ID. All patch data files required also go in the repository. So this is the top level of what? Because the Flatpak has it in app share meta info. But I think this is also... So we discovered last time the way Flathub works is that you don't give it a Flatpak. What you do is you give it your app data file. The way you publish something on Flathub is by literally making a pull request against the repository which contains all of Flathub, or the metadata for all of Flathub. So here's app submission, right? And if you look in here, what you do is you fork the Flathub repository on GitHub. So this is the Flathub repository, right? It lists, oh, I thought it had all the files in it, but maybe it doesn't. Yeah, that's interesting. I thought that this had a huge, great big list of .app data files in it. Clone the fork, create a new branch, add your app's manifest to the branch, open a pull request against the new PR branch. A new repository be created for your application containing your app's Flatpak manifest. You will have write access for the repository. Right, so, so that's fine then. So all I need to do, that's interesting though, because what I'm going to need is I'm going to need this file to also be available to me somewhere, because that's what I need to put in with the file with its changes fiddled, because this is the version that's in the Flatpak. So I'm going to need that file available to me so I can put it in the repository. Okay, the Flathub service then uses the manifest repository to continuously build and distribute your application on every commit. Yes, so this, yeah. So is this the manifest that it's talking about then? My app's manifest, that's not the app data file, that's this. Ah. Right, okay, yes, yeah. So this is a manifest. I thought these were just build instructions, but it's a manifest. So, and it's already named after my thing, all.cryogenics.pig.yaml, so I'm good. Cassidy, hello Cassidy. Manifest is the JSON file, and Flathub wants it in the root of the repo. Meta info is the XML and is separate. What a bloody JSON file. Oh, this manifest, mine's in YAML, but it can be in JSON, I believe. So, Cassidy, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. If you're not, do let me know. But yeah, okay, so when it talks about the manifest, I think it means this. The Flathub, the Flatpak build instructions. This is a Flatpak manifest. Yeah, it tells you things like which runtime it uses and so on. Command is pick color picker. Cassidy says hello. Hello, Cassidy. Right, so we're going to assume that's okay. So back to app requirements, repository layout. But this is, I don't care about the repository layout because the Flathub people create it. That's weird. Sorry, oh YAML, yes, is Cassidy. Yes, cool. So we are talking about the same thing. Manifest will be at the top level, named off the application ID with the extension JSON, YAML, or YAML. All patches data files required also go in the repository. Sure, but this is, I don't create this repository. I get this file, which I basically push as a PR to the Flathub repository, and then they create the repository and give it to me. But maybe what they mean is, once I've got that repository, don't go fiddling with it and creating new directories and putting the manifest in them. Stable application releases and not development snapshots. Manifest should therefore refer to tarballs or git tags and not the tip of a branch. Really? I have to use git tags. So you're just going to make me care about all this version number stuff. Okay. When building from a git tag, both the tag name and the commit ID should be specified. This ensures that the build is reproducible so the tags can change their value over time. A commit can also be specified without a tag, however tag names are encoded that are better for readability. The point being, I can just go, it's this commit in the main branch, but I'm supposed to put a name on it because the name's meant to be the version number and that helps people. This is true, however, as previously discussed, I don't care about version numbers. So I'm only doing this to jump through your hoop, Flathub, so I'm not jumping through it too far. Now, I could, since I create a new version with every commit, I could create a new tag with every commit as well, but that seems unnecessarily annoying. And I suspect that a lot of the people who look at GitHub for things like tags would be infuriated if I did that. I wonder, think of an application that uses tags. Something. What's... pick something that's going to be in GitHub, which probably uses tags well. Inkscape. So, no tags. Oh, this isn't here. What this is going to say is something like sod off. Yeah, it's on GitLab. Okay. Okay, never mind. So pick something which is an application. Could you pre-commit also tag every commit? You probably can't insert the revision because modifying files. Never mind. Yeah, I could tag every commit, Alex. That's exactly what I'm wondering about. The question is whether that's super annoying, whether tags are meant to be like a big important milestone, or whether I can just literally tag everything every time I do a commit. Just the same as at the moment I generate a new version number every time I do a commit. So what I want to do is I want to see something which uses a bunch of tags and then take a look at it and see whether it looks weird if it's millions. The Linux kernel probably does have tags, but the Linux kernel actually uses Git the way it's meant to be used, with loads and loads and loads of different branching trees, rather than there basically being one main branch. So I probably don't want something as complicated as the Linux kernel. Let's try Electron. Or Python. See, does Python use GitHub these days? I thought, because they've got like their own nosy list stuff, Roundup or whatever it's called, for bugs and things. I thought maybe they weren't. So this is Electron. I bet this is, yes. Oh, 1,783 tags. Okay, they do nightly build numbers and everything. 21 hours ago, 2 days ago. Okay, right. So the answer here is yeah, I could just tag them all. Right. How do I do tags? Never done them. Git tag. Git tags can be thought of human readable labels that can be used instead of the otherwise lengthy SHA-1 GUIDs that are used. Cassidy says, I think if you were just to tag every commit, you might as well just use the commit in the manifest instead. Now, I thought about that. The question here is this. It's the reason it says I shouldn't do that. It says a commit can be specified without a tag. Tag names and codes, they're better for readability. But I don't know which bit it's saying is readable. Is it saying in the manifest, this is more readable than this, which is true? Or is it saying that on Flathub itself, it will show you the tag if you've got one, and if you haven't got one, then it will show you the commit ID. So if I look here, right, this is version 0.9.11, that's a version number, but is that actually the Git tag ID? And the reason it's saying, I've lost the damn tab now. Right, so is this saying tag names are encouraged as they are better for readability? Is that because this will show the tag ID if I've got one or commit ID if I haven't? Alex says you don't know what the show will be at the time you're modifying the files. True, but can't I just say git tag this as a number? Or do I have to say, I don't know how git tag works at all. Oh, Dan! Hello, Dan! Hello, pal. What time is it? 6:30. I need to send you a message, Dan, to say I'll be going for a pint. It depends how far I get with this. So how does git tagging work? Listing the existing tags, blah, yeah, whatever. Lightweight and annotated. So I want a lightweight tag because I don't care about all the rest of the stuff. Generally, recommend that you create annotated tags. You have all this information. You want temporary. Yeah, because I literally want a pointer to a specific commit. That's all I want. Okay, create an annotated tag. It is simple. Specify A when you run the tag command. The M specifies a tagging message. You can see the tag data. So what's dash A do then? Okay, right. Pro tip. People writing documentation. Never, ever, ever, ever use short options when you're describing something to someone. This is there to save an experienced user typing. That should say dash dash annotate or dash whatever it is. Git help tag. Right, so what is dash A? Annotate, I am correct. Ha. Make an unsigned, but that makes an annotated tag object, so I actually want a lightweight one. So, right, otherwise, if a message is given and dash A is absent, it's dash A. Oh, so hang on. So actually read the damn thing, Stuart. Add a tag reference. Mustn't exist, which is fine. If I specify annotate, dash S, whatever that is, the whole point of long options is that they are self-documenting. You don't have to keep looking them up. Please, I beseech you in the bowels of Christ, people writing documentation, use the long options whenever you're describing something. They don't just exist to annoy me. Sign, but I don't care about signing. Dash U key ID, which is going to be something to do with keys, so I don't care. So I want a lightweight tag because I literally just want a pointer. So I don't tag a specific thing, I tag... So it needs to be a post-commit hook then, does it? Another way to tag commits is with a lightweight tag. To create a lightweight tag, just provide a tag name. So that you can also tag commits after you've moved past them. Right, so the question is, if I do git tag in a pre-commit hook, it's not going to tag this commit I'm about to do because I haven't done it yet. So I need to do it in a post-commit hook. So in the pre-commit hook, for those of you joining us late, we have a small amount of magic here. So every time I do a commit, it bumps this version number. Right, so every commit is a new version. What I want to do is I also want to tag this commit with that version number because Flathub wants me to care about this stuff. Cassidy says, I think it's just talking about just the manifest. The versions of Flathub are shown from the release descriptions in the meta info XML. Oh, are they? By the Lord Harry. So that is... Oh, I haven't done the release stuff. Oh man, do I have to do that? Huh. Okay. So that's interesting. So, yeah, so probably what I want then. Yeah, so I don't need to do any of this tagging stuff then, because I don't actually care about version numbers. There's no actual point in tagging this unless I have to, because I'm not going to look at it. And the version numbers are meaningless, because basically everyone should always run head of main. Like, don't run older versions. There's literally no reason to ever do so. So, the version numbers aren't important, so I can just put in the manifest a git commit ID. Is the answer to that question. Thank you, Cassidy. So I don't need to do the tags. Alex says, good night. Good night, pal. Thank you very much for all the help. It's been really useful. So, don't need to do git tags. I don't care. You can't make me care about versions. So, manifest should therefore... Oh no, I can just refer to a commit. A commit can also be specified without a tag, however tag names are encoded, they're better for readability. So how do I tell it? So where is this set? Flathub always builds in the flatpak branch name stable, always passes dash default branch equals stable. I'm not using external data. So the $64,000 question here is, how am I telling it to do this? Is this stuff that's in the YAML file? This is in there. So that tells it the source is git. Oh, so this then, does this manifest file need to specify a tag and a commit? This documentation is terrible. This is utterly not helpful at all. The app requirements. Both the tag name and the commit should be specified. Where? Where should they be specified? Does this mean that to do a new release on Flathub, I will have a copy of this file in the Flathub created repository with the commit ID specified, and what I do is I update that file with the new commit? Cassidy says, yes, in the manifest under your source. Yeah, okay. Right, so somewhere in here I have a list. Yes, notes. There it is. Right. So we're going to make a note of this. It's not under app stream, just in app requirements. Actually, it's in stable. So we're going to put a note here and say, says, we're building from a gig tag, but be specified, but doesn't say where it should be specified. Apparently this is in the manifest. So this little page of notes is going to become a whole bunch of bugs that I file against Flathub stuff, or Flathub or Flatpak documentation, because the whole point of doing this is I know nothing about this, and therefore I'm learning as I go from the docs, and therefore this is something where someone knows what they're talking about. Cassidy, for example, would probably have just totally overlooked this and gone, yeah, obviously they get specified in the manifest, because obviously where else would they get specified? But here I didn't know that. Apparently this is in the manifest. This should be documented. Right. Oh, I haven't actually saved that. I'm just relying on Sublime Text, not throw it away, and I will continue to rely on it. This is why I use Sublime Text. Right. Back to here. So I will need so interesting. So how do I have this set up at the moment? Because I think so. If oh yeah, no, yes, we discovered this before. If I use the Flatpak builder to build from this, it goes away and checks out master main. Sorry, it checks out the head of main. It doesn't build it from the local version, but it can. We jiggered it last time. I remember doing this now. It is possible to jigger this so that it actually builds from the local directory rather than yanking it out of Git. So I don't have to push everything to GitHub in order to pull it down in order to test the Flathub build, Flatpak build. So what I probably want, see, I almost want two versions, but then I'd have to maintain two versions and I'll forget about them. So what I will do is I will just leave this building master, and then this means we're going to have a release process where, in order to release a new version on Flathub, I'm going to have to look up the commit ID for the latest version for head in main, and then go and edit the Flathub thing. So I will need to write myself a little script called publish on Flathub, which does that for me, but I'm not doing that yet. We've got to get on Flathub for the first time first. Okay. Sorry, that was a long walk around something, meaning I don't need to change anything at the moment. I apologise. Thank you for coming along this journey with me. Right, external data checker I don't care about, as previously mentioned. Branches and runtimes. Applications we built. I barely even understand what Flathub branches are. I assume they're like snap channels or something, but I don't care. This is stable. I don't even specify it, so I'm sure that'll be fine. I don't do anything about this. Application must be built against an SDK which is self-founded on Flathub, which it is. Yes, I'm using the SDK that I'm using is all.gnome.sdk, and that works, and it's runtime version 42. Yeah, okay. Bundled dependencies. I don't have any bundled dependencies. Take care to check the build directory for unnecessary files. Is it called Flatpak build? Yes, it is. Right, what's in there? In here is directories, a desktop file, a shed load of icons, an app stream metadata file. Oh, really? Oh, okay. So it's like, yeah, you can write it in YAML, but what we really want is JSON. So we'll just convert it to JSON for you. So maybe I should have written it in JSON to begin with. The problem with JSON is you can't put comments in it, and it's just annoying because it's more picky about formatting. Although YAML is also rubbish, and TOML is nicer, but whatever. I'm not getting into this fight. The actual executable. That's interesting. What is that actual executable? Because I don't have an executable. It just runs... Oh, I bet it's my shell script. That. Yes, because I needed that. So, I bet it's that. Okay. So, the actual executable, the Python files, which do all the work. The app data, again. More icons. That. File share app info XMLs. What are you? Then gzipped XML file. But anyway, it doesn't matter. And some symlinks, and that's it. Right, good. So it's not packaging a bunch of miscellaneous crap from here into my Flatpak, which shouldn't be. Good. So I don't have any bundled dependencies, so I don't care. I can skip this whole section. Patches, don't care. Desktop integration. Flathub is primarily focused on graphical desktop applications. Yes, it is. Which is the point that the Flathub people keep making. They have the following expectations to ensure effective desktop integration. Do note the CLI applications do not require a desktop file. But text user interface applications should have a desktop file with terminal equals true. Yeah, but I don't care because I have a desktop file. Upstream. Applications must provide upstream data and pass Flatpak run. Okay, right. But it bitches about this for some reason. I'm assuming I have to then provide the name of... Yes. So what's it called? Pick color, pick it out, data.xml. Oh, so I have to specify the release stuff, do I? Right, okay, we'll come back to that. Desktop files. Must pass desktop file validate, which I'm pretty sure it does. And it's called that, and it passes. Good. Desktop application icon at least 64 by 64, 128 by 128. Now we now have those, which we did not have before, but I created them. So I had a bunch of others. I've got the icon is at like 512, and I believe there's an SVG version. So that's all fine. But I added these because Flatpak needs them in those sizes as well as all the other sizes that I've got. So I'm going to do git add data icons 28, data icons 64, -m, add new icon sizes because Flathub requires them as if the huge list of icon sizes I already have wasn't enough. Oh yeah. Cool. Right. What I should do is I should just change that so I can just go oops, and then it would look in the bash history for the previous command and then rewrite it. They text adventures do that. You can the oops command, which no one really knows about, and I don't know if anything other than Inform or the Z machine in general implements it. But you could type a thing and it would go, I don't know that verb, and then you type oops, and then the verb you meant. So if you went like killed the orc, but instead of that you did killed the orc, it would say something like I don't understand the verb killed. Can you try again? You could type oops kill, and it would rewrite it would reload the previous command, which would be cool. So maybe I should do that for bash. But separate idea. Applications should either be included as scale-based views or high-resolution PNGs. What do you mean? It should be included as high-resolution PNGs and then have to have 64 by 64. Mine's 512 by 512, which is fine. I don't think I can have a higher-res version because I didn't do the icons. Sam Hewitt did. Do I have... yeah, this is the icon, which is 512 by 512, I think. Yeah, Sam did this, and it's very cool. But I don't have a vector version of it, I don't think. I do have... Could have done this search in Nautilus, really. Yeah, see, I've got that, but that is not the application icon. It is the little magnifying glass icon that you get when you run pick. So if I do Python 3-m pick, This icon here is that SVG. Unfortunately, I do not have this one as an SVG. What I should really do is like email Sam and ask him, because I'm relatively sure he would have built this in, I don't know, maybe Inkscape, maybe Adobe Illustrator, whatever, but I'm sure he's got it, but it's not important. 512 by 512 is fine. Okay, so I do need to come back to this release thing, but we'll do that in a minute. Permissions. Permissions to be limited as much as... Oh, I've done this, I think. Yes. This goes in finish args. Following permissions can be freely used. So what I've got... I need pulse audio because I make a camera click sound. Although not in the Flatpak, because... And this is a discussion from last time. The way I make the sound is by shelling out to Canberra GTK Play. And I don't have that anymore. But the reason I did that is because the G sound GIR bindings didn't exist in like Ubuntu 15.10 or something when I wrote this. But what I should do is just port it to use the G sound bindings in Python. It's originally Python 2. It's been around for a long time, 7, 8 years. Anyway. So I need pulse audio for that. Well, I will need it. I need X11 because it needs to actually screenshot X11. Those of you saying, well, what about Wayland? It flat doesn't work in Wayland. I don't even know if pick can work in Wayland. The idea of an application which allows you to pick colours off the screen, as far as I can tell, if that's not built into your shell, you just can't do it. So it doesn't matter. And I need IPC because apparently you need that to talk to X. Okay, dbus access, I don't care about those, I don't need any of the others, so I get this one for free, and I get this one for free, and I get this one for free, and I don't need any others, so that's great. I don't need to do any file system access other than writing, I save the data that you've done, but that's in my own XGG config folder, and that's it. You can't save files while not the ideal. Right. Okay, so this is all good. So the only thing then is this release stuff, which this doesn't actually mention at all, usefully. So presumably I need to look. Is this the same? Yeah, it's the same page. Right. So app submissions. Hopefully this is going to tell me what I have to do about the release stuff. So, got the ORs things. Someone else has put my app on Flathub, isn't that? No. So all that's wrong. Well, it's a discourse. That's going to be more useful than flipping matrix. Right. Please follow the app requirements. Is that the page I've just looked at? Yeah, it is. So, the release tag is required, and I've got no idea how to find out what needs to go in it and how often it needs to go in it. So, app data guidelines. This seems useful. Use Flathub's AppStream util to validate app data during build. That's what I've just done, isn't it? Didn't I do this to test it? Order free desktop AppStream glib validate. Yes, right, yes, good. So, what it's saying is that command that I ran, it runs during build. Fine. Place app file into app share meta info. The old path is app share app data. And I do that. That's where I put it as part of the build. So that's good. Upgrading. Yeah, don't care, that's fine. Because mine's new, so it probably isn't using old stuff. All app data files should start with this. Oh, I've got this over here, I keep forgetting. It starts with XML preamble, copyright 2022 me, component desktop, desktop dash application. Oh, so this is wrong. How rubbish am I? Look at that, it's new and it's still wrong. Although if backwards compatibility use component type equals desktop, with the correct new type is desktop dash application. Okay, fair enough. You're the boss. Whack. So what have I changed in here then? Oh, so the new icons are in the manifest. Oh, and these are all the changes that I made to the app stream YAML, and that's going to include the change I've just made. So we'll keep looking in case we need to make more before I commit them. Copyright notes only listed pass validate strict, but still a good idea. Yes, it is. ID should be the same as the app requirements. Application ID, which it is. Yes. Adam Grubb says greetings, Stuart. Hello, Adam. Right. We're omitting the desktop part. You have to have desktop ID launchable. Yeah, got that. And this is called pick color picker desktop here, and then the Flatpak build sends that into being org.cryogenics.picked or whatever, because for historical reasons the snap and the Flatpak want slightly different versions of the file, so the Flatpak build sorts that out. Translations, I don't have any. I probably should have. Launchable, basically, so I've already got that, right? Launchable desktop ID, yes, I've got the desktop file, and that's fine. Provides, we can use it to link to other instances using different ID with the app. Oh, so you can rename a thing, and it can track it across renames. Well done, Flathub. No points to the snap people, where if you rename your thing, you basically lose all your users. It's the worst. If there's icons and categories get pulled from there, good. The ORS website, we've done that, we did that last time. Quick on for the actual content, description, screenshot, see the app stream docs. This is content, but I've done that, I think. Here are screenshots and description. See the app stream docs. Okay, so we'll have a look at them in a sec. SPDX license, yep. What's happened has been built. So that's what our mysterious gzipped XML file was. It's this, plus everything that it reads out of the desktop file and what have you, all in one file. Nice. That's pretty nice. Pretty neat. Okay, so I need to check the guidelines for the actual content, and so for GUI upstream maintainers, that's me. Look at screenshots. Define a new data file. Blah, 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 blah. Description, which I have. Good. Launchable, I have. Screenshots, and I have screenshot, which yanks it directly out of GitHub. This is Husey wrote this. Cool. Provides binary. What? That's not what this said. Was it? Provides other instances using a different ID. Oh, so the point here is, yeah, so this is GNOME Power Statistics, but it also provides a binary called GNOME Power Statistics. Surely I don't have to specify that. I don't have to say, pick provides a binary called pick color picker. Yeah, that just sounds annoying. I'm not doing that. Right, releases. This is the key bit. Am I gonna have to update this damn file as well with everything? That means every time I do a release, I'm gonna have to write a description. Okay. Recommended metadata file contents. So I've got all of these. I've got project license. Name is pick. Yes, it is. Summary, which I have. It's a color picker. Yes, it is. Description, I've got. Interesting, easy to read prose. Hopefully that is. It's literate, as far as I'm aware. Anyone is welcome to shout if they disagree with me. Do not be too geeky. Well done. Good. Well played. This is good. This is so this description is a description for a software store. It's not for nerds who want to hack on your application. They'll be like, it's written in Python and it talks to X. No one cares. So I'm reasonably happy with mine. Do not assume the format is HTML. Only paragraph, ordered list and unordered list are supported at this time, as well as emphasis and inline code. Yeah, all I'm using is paragraph tags. Should I make those inline code? No, it's sort of code, but not really, and it would be massively ostentatious to do it for just that one thing. So I'm not going to do that. Right, launchable, done that. Dairy Lee launchable tag. Screenshots, done that. We've done that. Yes, yes, yes. So these are good and bad screenshot choice. I think my screenshot's all right. Let's have a look, just to check. Yeah, that's cool. Quite happy with that. That shows everything you need to know about PEC, I think. It shows that it's got the different formats. It shows them with the formats. It shows interesting screenshots. Oh, there's Emmanuel Bassi. That's I did that screenshot from me. So those of you who are feeling particularly sleuthy today can probably work out where that tweet is. It shows the names. Yep, happy with that screenshot. Right. Implementation. So recommendations. Oh no, hang on. What? Oh, this wasn't the thing I was reading. Where's the thing I was reading? Right, here, good. That was confusing. Good. Yeah, right, good, I'm happy with that. URL. Recommended tag for links of type homepage. Yep, got a bug tracker, got a donation, got a homepage. Yes. Developer name is me. The Great and Mighty Oz. Developer name Stuart Language. There I am. Update contact. No, you can go and look at the website for that. I don't want. I have no problem with making the thing email me, and for something more complicated than PEC, one of the things that is quite a good idea, in my opinion, is to give your application a menu item of email the developer. It's an idea I picked up from Evan. I can't think of the guy's name. Evan something, who writes Wizard for the Mac. Evan Wizard Mac. Wizard. What's the author's name? Evan Miller. There it is. Right, and he wrote a useful thing called email. Oh, somewhere in here. He has written a useful. He's written a bunch of interesting things about statistics, none of which I understand. But he gives quite good explanations of a bunch of these things, and he explains about rating systems and how to average them and so on and so forth. But he's also written something in here in which it says that if you're writing a desktop application, it should have a menu item which is email the developer. So instead of the go and file a GitHub issue or something, you give people a way to directly contact you and ask for help. Now, this is more important for something like Wizard, which is a thing which costs people £100, and there's a lot of effort goes into it, and I think it might be his full-time job. Whereas something like PEC, I'm kind of a little bit, I don't necessarily want you to email me directly because it's hassle. If it doesn't work, then sorry, rather than I'm going to fix it necessarily. But it's quite a good idea. But sorry, a divergence. Right, suggested metadata file. I like how about this is suggested, but it's actually required for Flathub. The application metadata info may include one release tab which has one or multiple release subnodes to define the version of release date of this application for C releases. It's very useful to attach short release notes to a release using the description subnode. These release notes should contain brief information about what is new in the release in a way which is understandable by non-technical users. So I suspect what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put one release entry in here for the first one, and then after that the script, which I have alluded to, will need to do a couple of things. It's going to need to work out the most recent commit in GitHub main, the commit ID. It's then going to need to fix the manifest in the Flathub repository to tell it there's been a new release and point at that commit ID, and it's going to have to update the releases thing in here in the app data YAML to include the details of that new release. So what I'm probably going to need to do then is I will need to have a new Flatpak release script which asks me for a description and then spatchcocks that. It works out the version number, it works out the commit ID, it spatchcocks my fed description into here, and it commits. Interesting. Does this go in the Flathub repository? Or does it just go in my repository? And then Flathub goes and gets it at the time? Don't know. Anyway, we'll work that out. Provides, I don't care about, if your application shifts binary in location in the default path, you should default to add at least a child type byte to make it easily possible to find your application metadata using the name for its binary. Okay then. So it ends up being called, I'm pretty sure, pick color picker. Yes, app bin pick color picker. But is it in the default path? Yeah, it is. So I want a provides type equals binary. Fine. Husey, you win again. Richard! Yeah. So this wants to have in it provides binary pick dash color dash picker. Okay, and now we are going to need to put a first release version in there. For details, see releases. Each release of the software component should have release tag describing at least one release child must be present for the current. Yeah, right, I get it. You can have all these versions which I don't care about. God. So I'm not supposed to use. So I need to use date. I'm not supposed to use timestamp. It's like some old-fashioned thing. A release tag also a date end of life. Yeah, whatever, date end of life. It's the end of the universe. Or, actually, no, that's not true at all. The end of life of a version is whenever the next version came out. Release tag may have an urgency property. Yeah. I'm not going to do that, not for pick. I can do that for other things, but I don't care enough about pick for that. So, if no release type is defined, stable is assumed, yes. And it has to be stable because of Flathub. Although this is the AppStream documentation, so it can specify development stuff, but this is for Flathub. We're doing this, so it's stable only. Description tag as a child. Yep, okay. URL tag as a child. Detailed release notes. Not going to do that. Not for this application. CVE IDs for issues. Yeah, not doing that either. Yeah, this is for people who are really dutiful about this, which is important for other applications. It is. For something like Pick, it just doesn't need it. This is way too much bureaucracy for my small application. And what this leads to is the same thing you get in mobile app things, where a new version comes out and it says, bugs fixed in the changelog. You know, new features developed. And it doesn't tell you what they are at all, because doing so is really annoying. I will do it for things where people are spending money on it, or it's a big, important program. But for something like Pick, it's just like, seriously? It's not that big a deal. Almost nothing that I do is a user-facing feature anyway. And if I make it so I have to write a description in here, I can even just default it to, you know, things tweaked. And then I can overwrite that with, now we do lab colours, or now we do RGBA, or whatever that thing said, whatever it was. What did it say? The last substantive change I did was, new style CSS RGB colours without commas and lab and HSL. That is a user-facing feature, right? There aren't that many. Yeah, and the rest of them are just bug fixes. Right? The previous user-facing feature, look, it's all things like Flake A. The previous user-facing feature was releasing it. Oh my god! And yeah, migrating to Python 3 isn't user-facing. Yeah, these are all bug fixes. Like, it's had two features. Feature number 1 was it being released, and feature number 2 was it getting new style RGBA colours. Okay, file name, we don't have to do this, whatever. Size, I'm not putting in, I don't care, I could work that out, but it's just not interesting. Checksum, at least one checksum child must be present to contain the checksum of the released art. Oh, this is for artifacts, right? Oh, it's just a release. But I don't need to do artifacts. I don't think. I think I can just do this. Yeah. So all I need is a version number and a date and a description. And descriptions aren't even critical, right? Is description required or just requested? let us examine the Flathub stuff again. How to submit an app. Must it have a description? I don't think it does. So in that case, if that's it, then I can just spatchcock release numbers into here directly in the same way that I do commit versions. Ha! That's cool. Okay, we like that, so I'm going to do that. Right, so in that case, what I want is, since we're now using the version number outside, I'm going to pull that. Actually, I'm going to do version equals 1.60 git commit count. Right, and then here, excuse me, sorry, we want close that, and this is now version instead. So that should still work. But now I have the version in the variable. So now I can also write a release tag into app stream metadata file. And so the way we're going to do that is we're going to put a thing down here which says releases, and then we're going to end that, and then we're going to replace that string with that string, and then a carriage return, and then the new release number. And then I can go in and edit. When I do an important thing, I can always go in and write a description if I want to. Yeah, well, so let's try for lols. So we will release date equals, what format does the date have to be in? Is it ISO, whatever it is? Don't care about the comparison algorithm. We need to do this, but we already talked about that. Okay, so this doesn't actually mention the releases stuff at all. Yeah, no, because we moaned about that earlier. So, date can have any time in ISO 8601. Should at least contain a full date. Oh, right, so it's that format. So let's find an example of one just so I can rob it. Oh, so I literally just need a date, so they don't have to be unique. So 2022 0507, which is today, and we need a version number. Version equals, and our current version number, just for a laugh, is 1.60.174, although that's going to be wrong. Yeah, it's going to be wrong when we do a commit, but that's fine, because we're not doing this to do a commit. We're doing this to test whether the validator is happy with it. 1.60.1, what did I say, 174? Is that what I said? Yes, it is. Good. So, now we try the validate thing again. Is that this? Yes. Right, so that it's perfectly fine with. I don't need to write a description at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to patch the script to spatchcock that in. Excellent. So, back to our release script, or our update git commit script, which is there. And then, so we need to write that release tag. So now what we want to do, oh man, setting things with angle brackets in is a pain, and carriage returns. So what we're going to want is sed s/releases/ we're going to want to change that to be releases, and then a carriage return, which I'm not sure that's going to work, and then a release. Just for lols, we'll just, I need a slash, so we're going to have to make that sed x end release x, and that's going to be on, what's it called? .app data Let's see if that works. Right, yes, it does. That's good, except I need 4 spaces in front of it. So that's great then. So what we want there is same thing as this, except this is going to be, we want to replace releases with releases, new line, 4 spaces, release, date equals, and then we need to close the quotes, and then we want date, oh actually no, we need quotes around it so it's legit XML, and then we reopen the quotes, and then we open that, and then we do version equals, and then we quote again, and then we end the quote, and then we start the quote again, and then we close that, and then we close, actually then we want that. So this is SX, that, X, that, X, but not on $main, on $appstream is the name of the file. Okay. Is that going to work? Have I got that right? That's going to do version equals, it closes that quote. So I need to specify date and $appstream, of course. So appstream is pick color picker.appdata.xml. We need to appstream, and actually I need to quote those just in case they've got spaces in the name of the directory, which they don't have currently, but they might do. And we need $date, so to get a date in a specific format, you do date plus %y. Do I need this in quotes? Probably need it in quotes. Dash %m dash %d. Is that right? No, so it's lowercase d. That's not right. Is it lowercase m? Is it 6 minutes past something? Yeah, 7:06. 2022-05-07. Good. So that's the date format. Actually, I'm going to send a quick text to someone to say, are we going for a pint? And if we are, then I might have to cut this stream a little short. But if we're not, then no worries. I will keep programming with all of you lot. So I'll put point, or is it too late now? Question mark. I don't even know if Dan is still watching. He may be. So we've got to set date is that. Okay. So what that will do then is that will carefully insert a release entry into there. Is that right? I think that's right. And then, okay, let's check that works first of all. So exit 1. So it chickens out. Also, why is that whining? Shell check. What's up with that line? The quotes are there for a reason. That's shell check being stupid about quotations. Right, so if I do just do git commit whatever, that should still run all the stuff, and it should bump the version number again, and it should add a releases entry to our appdata.yaml, which will probably read exactly the same as this one actually, but that'd be fine. So let's give that a try. Ha-ha! Oh, except it bumped the version number again. Yeah. Okay, well that's great. That just works. Fantastic. Right, okay. We can delete that now. We can set this back to 174 for now. Okay. And that solves the release problem, so that should be everything. Now, I think we validate. Yes, so I'm going to check it again, just on the off chance. Great. So we're good then, I think. So git and org git commit -m. Oh, this is going to say use the script, so I can just do that instead. Update. Actually, I'm going to write a longer one for this. Because I still got the exit in there. Gosh. So that's just going to have written a new thing in there and I didn't want it to. Okay, and then we undo that as well. Right, try this again. Git commit, bosh. So this is going to be update metadata and manifest to meet Flathub's requirements, hopefully. Okay, bosh. That's now 175. This has got a 175 in it, also released today. Git push. Okay. Good. So at this point, this is ready to work, I think, except that I have to actually submit it to Flathub. This is very exciting. Who can use it? How to submit an app? I followed the app requirements. I have not filled in the git commit into my manifest, which is weirdly circular, actually, because when I make the change to my manifest to include the git commit, then the manifest will be in the next git commit. They would say this is why you're meant to use tags, and I will say shut up. So let's just do it, and I'll do it by hand. So fork the Flathub repository on GitHub. Okay, I can do that. Fork. 1,000 forks. So does that mean there's 1,000 Flatpaks? That's not that many. Pull request for new applications to be added. Oh, very good. Yep. Okay. Create a fork. Forking Flathub. Flathub. Great. Clone the fork. Okay. Which we will do in a moment. This branch is up to date. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to do it in here because it's all in the same folder. Okay, cloning into Flathub. Oh, your GitHub username. Is this going to check out all of the history and everything? Do I need all of it? The hell is... Engage your brain, Stuart. Branch new PR. You think you'd put depth equals 1 on this, wouldn't you? Because you don't need all the history, but whatever, I'll do what it says. Oh, it's not that big anyway. Right. Create a new branch with your app's name. No, is my app's name pick or org.cryogenics.pick? I'm going to assume it's pick, but I'm going to make a note about that because that could be clearer, I think. So, oh, this is app submission, how to submit an app. So, which is actually there. It says, create a new branch with your app's name. But is that pick or org.cryogenics.pick? Could be slightly Right, where was I? Create a new branch. My bloody terminal window gone. Oh, there it is. Good. Create a branch with your app's name, so I'm going to call it pick. So git checkout -b pick. Add your app's manifest to the branch. Commit it and push the commit. Oh, bollocks. That's not right. That's because I just did that in the wrong bloody repository. I want to be cd Flathub. I reckon they should put that in there. Should be a step 2.5 cd Flathub to change into the Flathub directory. Sure, you shouldn't need it, but copying instructions is quite mindless, and it's good to keep it that way. See GitHub empty repository, because when you create an empty repository in GitHub, it gives you the instructions for adding code to it. And one of the really nice things about it is when they decided it would be a good idea that branches should be called main rather than master, which is a good plan, the GitHub people just added it to there. There's a command, and I couldn't even tell you what it is now, something like git branch -M main or something like that, which renames your branch from master, which is what Git calls it by default, to main. And what that means is every time I create a repository, I just go through and mindlessly copy those 4 commands in order to do it, which means that all my branches end up being called main, and it's just really handy. I mean, super well done of them to do this, because they haven't had to, push changes into the back end to change it or anything. They've just changed those things, changed those commands that it just shows to you. Everyone just copies them mindlessly, blindly just copies them into their terminal. And so loads of main branches are now called main. It's a really good example of having an affecting a change without having to have a big argument about it. So I think it would be handy if there was a step 2.5 CD or whatever. Right, so we're in the new PR branch, but there's nothing in here. Add your app's manifest to the branch, commit it, and push the commit. So I was literally just copy it in here. Okay, except I want the fiddled version of this. So whence comes the fiddled version of this? So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is in the main directory I will now do a flatpak build to confirm that it works with my magic script. So I do okay. So this is now going to build it. Hopefully it won't blow up, which it hasn't. And now I should have the fiddled copy of this, which is the version that's in the Flathub, will be in the Flatpak build folder somewhere. Find -name star.xml. Right, it's there. And that is it, org.cryogenics.pick.desktop. So it's had all the names changed to org.cryogenics. It's got the releases in there. No, shut up, Stuart, you are a moron. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about the Flatpak manifest, not the app data manifest. God, one day I'll get these straight. So it's talking about this. So now what I need is this, but I need that with the sources version in there. So what I want is cp org.cryogenics.pick.yaml into Flathub, and then if I sub-l that there. So now this is where I need, as Cassidy suggests, I need commit, and then the commit ID, which is that. Wham! Sha-na-na, sha-na-na! Yes! So I just need that. And that should work. I think. That should be it. So, git status, git commit -a-m, add pick manifest ready for submission to Flathub. Git push. Oh, no. Git add that. Now commit it. Git push. Vroomp, up it goes, and then I open a pull request against the new PR branch on GitHub. Your pull request will then be reviewed by the Flathub admins. Okay, so I cloned this here. That's interesting. Where are they then? Oh, it's in the new PR branch. That's why. Thought I'd gone mad. Okay, so I need to PR this. Oh. Open a pull request. Against the new PR branch in Flathub, add pick manifest. Bosh. Please confirm your submission meets all the criteria. I have read the app requirements and app maintenance. Oh, app maintenance. Have I read that? Where does that link to? Rex and maint. So let's. App maintenance. Did I read this? I think I read this. App maintenance. The repository. Required files of. Yep. So I haven't read this, but I am now. Okay, optional. readme.md flathub.json. What? What bloody hell's flathub.json? So I need the manifest. readme.md, I can't see why I need that. Flathub.json described below. I was fiddling with the build. Right, okay, right, I don't care about that. Good. Yeah, right. Oh, that's quite sensible then. Separate little file for it. Right, okay, I have now read that. Good. So, yes, I have read both of those. My pull request follows the instructions. It does, as far as I'm aware. I'm using the minimal set of permissions. Yes, I am. All assets referenced in the manifest are redistributed by any party. Yes, they are. I'm an upstream contributor to the project. I am the upstream contributor to the project. I own the domain using the application ID or the domain's policy. Yep. Older cryogenics. Additional patches. Nope. Oh, well, yeah, because it is the upstream. Right, I have done that. Create a pull request. Okay, great. I have now submitted that to Flathub. Presumably, what happens next is someone takes a look. I have no idea how long that takes. So, because it's Saturday night, I'm probably going to go down the pub. If Dan's around, hasn't even texted me back. But maybe I'm going to go and have a pint. So, I don't even know if anyone's still listening. If you're still listening, say something, and we'll see how long that takes to happen. I mean, maybe it's done it already. I've unread notifications. Oh yeah, not anything that's visible. Okay. Great. No conflicts with the base branch. Right, so it doesn't look like this happens with a bot. So an actual person needs to look at this, and it is, admittedly, a Saturday night when all sensible people ought to be having a lager of some kind. So, hopefully this is done. Thank you, everyone. This has been really useful and interesting. Let me check that I did everything. So Flathub, we're definitely leaving out, so echo Flathub into .git ignore. My git commit script I also want to... do I though? Yeah, we don't want it to be part of this repository. It's pretty cool though. So I should put that somewhere. But for now we'll leave it out. Right. I'm not adding git ignore because then I'll just get another version number and it will confuse everybody. So, can I find out if anyone's still listening? Like, does it tell me in here? Channel dashboard or something. Live now, this says. But I don't know if it says who's still listening. And whether the answer is anyone at all, because it might be literally no one. Connection is excellent, which is nice. It says live viewers dash, so I'm assuming that means no one's actually listening. So what I'm going to do then is, well, let's check on here, just so, because I should be able to see the stream again. If I bring it up in YouTube, there it is. Yeah, cool. So we're done, I think. Thank you, anyone who's still out there, or anyone who's reviewing this later. This has been really cool. So now we shall see if Pick ends up in Flathub at some point in the future. Keep a vague eye out, and I'll do another one of these streams at some point. Ta-ra.